Hey guys, what's up? And on today's episode, I'd like to share with you 7 steps how to create a cinematic B-roll. So let's get started. The first step that you need to be aware is the camera movement. Normally, I will use a lot of my tune crane for all my establishment shot because it helps me to reveal my subject or my object. Aside of stabilizer or a crane, of course you can always use a sliders, or for some occasion like an action movie, a handheld shot will be the best options because it will help to create the adrenaline. So before you're starting to shoot your B-roll or your short film, it's always great to choose which camera movement will be suitable for each scene because it will create a lot of improvement on your video. A shallow depth of field is really important to create a very cinematic look video because aside that it really looks good on your camera, but it helps the audience to be more focused on the object or the subject that you're trying to show. If you're using a Lumix system like me, there's one lens that I'm using the most for all my B-roll shots, which is the 42.5mm from Panasonic and Leica. It renders a very nice bokeh on my shots. I think having a very fast prime lens is really important to create a cinematic B-roll shots. A flat-looking images might not be appealing for your audience. That's why lighting plays an important role on your filmmaking. One of the ways to do it is to create a highlights on your object or your subjects, because the highlight will help to separate the object from the backgrounds and it will look stands out on your films. The next one is the easiest way to produce a very cinematic looking video is to slow down your footage on editing. So let's say if you edit your video on 25 frames per second timeline, just to make sure that you shoot the footage on 50 FPS or more, so you can slow it down later on post. Color grading is really important on your post-production process because it will help you to create a certain looks or a certain identity on your films, which I'm gonna show it to you how to do it in Adobe Premiere. Okay guys, as you can see now, I have imported one of the footage that we're gonna try to color grade in my Adobe Premiere. And what you can do is you can go to Effects and Video Effects, go to Color Corrections, and look for lumetri colors and apply these lumetri colors to your footage. Once you have applied the effects to your footage, you can go to Effect Controls and open the lumetri colors. Okay, the first thing that I will normally do is I will do the basic correction in here and adjust the white balance. So normally I will make it less warm. It depends on your preference. And I will adjust the exposure. In this case, I will make it darker so it looks more mysterious. And we can add a little bit of contrast and darken the black colors. Here you go. Normally I will make the color less saturated, maybe around 85%. Yep. Then the next thing that you want to adjust is the creative tab. Just open it. You can make it a little bit faded, sharpen it, maybe around 20%. The next thing that I want to adjust is the color wheels. So I will make the shadow more bluish and warmer for the mid-tones. And the last thing that we can do is we can always apply a vignetting by opening this tab, and you can adjust the way you want it. There you go. So we are done adjusting the color. As you can see now, this is the footage after we adjust the color, and this is before we adjust the color. There's a lot of difference. It looks more dramatic, right? And there is another way to do it by applying a LUT or a presets, which I'm gonna cover it on my future video. Having the right songs or music is really important on your B-roll or your films because it will help you to portray or explain your storytellings. And of course, adding a sound effect is another plus point. It will increase the impact on your films. So I have 3 clips ready on my Premiere right now, which I'm gonna show it to you guys. So the first one is I'm gonna show the B-roll with some random music. And as you have seen, that the B-roll lacks of energy, which I'm gonna replace the song to the one that I think it gonna works on my footage. As you can see just now, the sound makes a lot of difference. We can feel the energy on the footage. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply a few sound effects on the clips so you guys can see the difference. Let's have a look. Okay guys, here is the final tips, which is adding a cinema bars on your editing. The common aspect ratio output from our camera is 16:9, which is not wide enough to create a cinematic look video. And adding a black bar at the top and the bottom of the video will help to achieve that. There are a few ways to create a cinema bar, but one of the way is to get it online. You can just search from Google and type cinemabar.png. And you can just download any of the pictures in here. I'm just going to download this one. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is you want to import the cinema bar to your Adobe Premiere and apply this to the second layers. Drag it as long as the footage. As you can see now, there is a black bar at the top and at the bottom of the footage, but we need to make it smaller. Go to Effect Controls and just scale it down. There you go. And we are done. It is really simple. As you can see now, we have the cinema bar on our footage. Okay guys, so those are the 7 tips to create a cinematic B-rolls or films. Do give it a try and I hope it will improve the final output of your video. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'll see you till the next episode. See you guys.